to the Supreme God, to my spiritual teacher, to all the spiritual teachers, holy angels, holy masters, to all the saints, and to all the great ones. We humbly invoke for your divine and priceless blessings, for your divine light, love, and mercy. Thank you for the loving kindness, the priceless teachings, priceless blessings, for your divine guidance, divine help, and protection, for the divine spirituality, harmony, and divine peace. Thank you for the prosperity, for the healing, and the priceless blessings. Thank you for the knowledge, the understanding, the wisdom, and the intuition, for the priceless teachings, for the priceless blessings, and the priceless love. With thanks and full faith, so be it, and so it is. Thank you. Okay, so welcome, everyone. Where did we leave off last week?
We are on chapter 5.
Chapter 5, are we?
Yes.
Yes.
We finished that. We jumped to 11.
We did finish that.
And 11, we jumped to 11, I think, and then had to go back. So Well, I'm sorry, chapter 4, Chesed.
Chapter 4, correct.
81.
I was gonna say. So, okay, so before we go to chapter 4, right? On page 79, this is the last page on the throat chakra. There's a lot more actually to this chapter, a lot more I wanted to talk about, but we'll probably revisit when we finish the book so that we can understand it probably better. Okay, so there's one part we did not cover, and that is the divine name of God. As you see, you can read the divine name there. I probably won't pronounce it, but because of all the things that we covered last week about that, right? Do you guys? What is the third commandment? You guys remember? Yes, shall not speak my name in vain, right? So there is 10 commandments, right? Each Sephiroth is assigned to a commandment because remember last week we said that there is 10 Sephiroth in the Tree of Life. In the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, there's 10 Sephiroth, right? And these Sephiroth, there's 10 plus 1 hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 11 total, but it's 1 hidden. Now, this 1 hidden, it says here, Bina and Da'at, right, correspond to the third commandment. So that's Bina, right, which is the Ashna, and Da'at, which is the throat chakra. They both correspond to the third commandment, which is
speaking.
Thou shalt not, speak my name in vain. So it is very important, and it was here. I think it was said in. I think we read it last week. It was he talks about it here. But why is that? Why now? This is very important. This whole thing that the author says here, the divine name of that, and then he says that it corresponds to these two. Why do they correspond to these two? Why are they? What is the connection between these two chakras?
Knowledge and understanding.
Right, knowledge and understanding, but also because
You speak with
even
the
when we say the Lord's Prayer, right? In the Lord's Prayer, when you say, right, you go, Our Father, right? You are aware of your crown,
Mhm.
who art in heaven, right? First the crown, because you say Our Father, right? We saw that when we did the meditation the other day, right? On the Our
Yeah.
Father. Why? Because we are one. Our Father. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotions. I'm not the thoughts. I'm not the mind. I am the soul. I am one with the divine supreme being. Right? I am a divine being of divine light, divine love, and divine power. I am a child of God. I'm one with God. I'm one with all. I and the Father are one. Right? Like in John 10:30. So our Father. The realization that when you say Our Father, you're not the body, you are the soul.
Mhm.
You come from the Father. You right? Not you're not the body. The Father does not have a body, so you are the same, right? You come from your from the Father. So you say Our Father. This is so you understand who you are, who you truly are, the truth. Who art in heaven, right? What is heaven? Heaven is the inner world, the spiritual world. And so that's why we have here the forehead chakra,
The third eye.
chakra, right? Hallowed be thy name. What does the word hallowed mean?
Holy.
Holy. Holy be thy name. May your name be holy. So there you are aware of your ashna and of your throat simultaneously. The question is why? We the answer is when it says kosher speech right above. Why? Because you have Bina, right? Or the Ashna chakra is the center for higher for the higher mental faculty. Sorry, yeah, for the higher mental faculty. This is a lower mental faculty, right? So you also have um, your thoughts, right, and your understanding, your thoughts. When you're gonna say something, you're thinking it first.
Mhm. Then it comes out.
Then it comes out through the mouth, which the communication and all of that expression is also has to do with the center of higher creativity, which is the throat chakra. So they're both connected in this sense. So when you're expressing yourself, you're using both. And then he talks about kosher speech and also kosher thoughts. Why? Because your thoughts, your speech is more important what goes out of the mouth than what goes into the mouth. Because what goes out of the mouth, if it's can dirty your aura, can dirty your incarnated soul, or can cleanse and heal your incarnated soul and make it brighter and holy, right? So everything that comes out of the mouth must be holy, it must be good, it must be true. So that's why they both correspond to the third commandment.
Yeah, that's why bad language is totally wrong and it hurts your whole body.
Hmm. So good point. So this is so I wanted to say that now, if this is the case, so I'm going to use something that the author says earlier in the chapter, in the where it says in the chakras on the tarot, right? Somewhere there he says sufficient guidelines or sufficient information has been given to the readers to be able to deduce dot dot dot, right? So I'm going to say the same thing to you with the last title on the chapter that says the divine name of God and Bina and Da'at correspond to that. So there are other things that they correspond to. So this is telling you that these two correspond to this commandment. This is the hidden Sephiroth. There are other correspondences that are there. I'll probably not share them. I'm not going to talk much more about it, but the key is given to you so that you can actually look into it further on your spare time. Chapter 4. So we just finished chapter 11. Now we'll go to chapter 4 because we know how to count. Yes. The key to prosperity, right? Chesed, mercy and loving kindness. Okay, do you guys read the chapter?
Yes.
Oh, but you don't have the book. And you guys don't have the book. Okay. All right, not a problem. Easy.
It's a quick chapter.
And quick chapter. Yes. Let's see how quick it is. Okay, so let's read together. Okay. So I want to show you here. I want you to look on page 82, right? You have the front heart chakra and the back heart chakra. And below, you see the front heart chakra and the back heart chakra when they're not moving. That is important because generally, when you see them, they're moving like this. These are seen clairvoyantly.
I'm sorry?
This is clairvoyantly. How you see them clairvoyantly. When they're not moving, they look like this. Okay? So it's the heart chakra. Now, Chesed in Kabbalah. So Chesed, the heart chakra. I'm going to start on page 83. Chesed in Kabbalah means mercy and loving kindness. It corresponds to the heart chakra, which is located in front of the heart or at the center of the chest. Right? The heart chakra has how many petals? 12 petals. The front heart chakra contains golden and light red pranas. There's also a back heart chakra, and it is located at the back of the heart. The back heart chakra contains golden, red, orange, and yellow pranas. Prana means energy, right? It's like saying chi. Yeah, prana is life force. That's what it means. It's a Sanskrit word that means life force or breath, life energy, right? Like saying chi from in Chinese, like the energy, right? The slight difference in appearance between the front heart chakra and the back heart chakra, however, is that the front heart chakra contains more golden prana with some light red prana. Now, center of higher emotions. In pranic healing, right? Pranic healing is the healing methodology that the modern founder, is Master Choa, who's the author of the book. He has Master Choa is also my teacher, right? That we spoke about earlier. So yes, right there on the wall. He also wrote the book. So there's a healing methodology called pranic healing, which is done through pranic energy or just energy healing. It's a methodology of energy healing, and that's what he's talking about here. So in pranic healing, when you want to calm a person down or make him receptive to healing, activate the heart chakra, Chesed. This will give him a sense of inner peace. It will also facilitate cleansing of his solar plexus chakra. This is why psychologically ill patients must practice the meditation on twin hearts once or twice a day for several months. It will be better if they practice it daily for the rest of their lives. In acupuncture, a hysterical person can be calmed down by stimulating certain acupuncture points that activate the heart chakra. Chesed is the center of the emotional heart. Compared to the solar plexus chakra, Jeruva, the heart chakra, Chesed, is a center of higher emotions, such as peace, serenity, joy, compassion, kindness, gentleness, tenderness, caring, considerateness, patience, sensitivity, etc. The solar plexus, Jeruva, which is a center of lower emotions, is self oriented. The heart chakra, Chesed, is others oriented, as in what are the needs of other people? What would other people feel? And what would other people think? Both qualities of being self oriented and being others oriented are equally important. If you want to achieve a balance between the physical or material and the spiritual aspects of your life, both the solar plexus chakra, Jeruva, and the heart chakra, Chesed, must be developed evenly. Must be developed evenly. In the heart chakra, Chesed is overdeveloped and the solar plexus chakra, Dhruva, is underdeveloped. There is a tendency that other people will take advantage of you, abuse, and misuse you. If the solar plexus chakra, Dhruva, is overactivated, there is a tendency to be too selfish and maybe even ruthless. To become psychologically healthy, the development of the solar plexus chakra, Jeruva, and heart chakra, Chesed, must be balanced. This is called balancing loving kindness with self interest. To agitate the solar plexus is also to agitate the heart chakra. This is why negative emotions eventually have detrimental effects on the physical heart. By activating the heart chakra, Chesed, the lower emotional energies can be transmuted into higher forms of emotional energies. I'm going to read that again.
Please.
By activating the heart chakra, Chesed, this is very, very important.
The front one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
By activating the heart chakra, Chesed, is front and back is one chakra.
Okay.
By activating the heart chakra, Chesed, the lower emotional energies, right, from the solar plexus, can be transmuted into higher forms of emotional energies. The activation of the heart chakra, Chesed, ensures that the enhanced intellectual faculty and the increase in willpower will be used properly and harmlessly. The crown chakra, Keter, can only be sufficiently activated when the heart chakra, Chesed, is first activated. We spoke about that earlier today. The heart chakra is a replica of the crown chakra.
In what way?
We're going to keep reading. It is the center for compassion, joy, affection, consideration, mercy, and other refined emotions. It is only by developing the higher and refined emotions that one can possibly experience divine love. Explaining divine love and illumination to an ordinary person is just like explaining what color is to a blind man. Okay. With the pervasiveness of modern education and the advancement of careers that require the use of much of the mental faculty, the throat chakra, the art, is developed in a lot of people. The development of the heart chakra, Chesed, has been neglected, and because of this, you may encounter a person who is quite intelligent and successful in his career, but very abrasive. This type of person has not yet matured emotionally or has a heart chakra that is quite underdeveloped. Although he is intelligent and successful, his human relationship skills may be very poor. By practicing the meditation on twin hearts, a person may become harmoniously balanced. Without the development of the heart chakra, Chesed, in most people, world peace cannot be possible. This is why the development of the heart should be emphasized in the educational system. Okay, so several points on this section, center of higher emotions. So the author begins talking about the heart center, but he uses as a form of comparison the solar plexus chakra, Jeruva, right? This is the next chapter. So why is the author bringing it into this chapter? The question is why? Because it's a form of comparison. If you if you guys from the other booklet, from the other talks in previous chapters, you'll remember that we always talk about this balance. So we spoken about chakras being like gates, right? So your energy centers are like gates, right? Access points, portals, right?
You're closed or open.
So um, um, to different dimensions or planes, right? So as in the different planes, you have a higher emotional plane and a lower emotional plane, right? They're called like the astral plane. So the astral plane is the emotional plane. You guys heard of the astral plane, right? What is the astral plane? The astral plane is the plane of emotions. Emotions are that those energies, those emotional energies, or the astral energies, are more than what we think. They're not just emotions like we feel them. This is just how we feel them, but the energies are more than that. Now, you have a higher astral plane and a lower astral plane. Higher emotions and lower emotions. You have a higher physical plane and a lower physical plane. And so our bodies, like we saw in when we spoke in the earlier chapter, right? In chapter 1, I believe. Chapter yes. Um, so here you have a body right here. This is on page 18. So you have the physical body. Then you see this light that surrounds the body, right? That's the etheric body. And then you have this pinkish oval shape, like egg shape. That's the emotional body. And then you have another one that goes around it that is the mental body, right? So this is the physical body, the etheric body that surrounds the physical, right? The little blue. Then you have this pink one that is the emotional body. And then you have uh, this like around the emotional body, that's the mental body. Now, what is this? This is what people call the aura, right? And so you have, but what is the aura? The aura is comprised of your different bodies, that you have different vehicles. Why do you need all these vehicles? Because you need to interact with those planes. So this is why we always say we are multidimensional beings. We are constantly living in different dimensions at the same time. We exist in different dimensions at the same time. Now, you have the physical body, the dense physical body is the lower physical plane. And then you have the etheric body, right, which is just around it. That's the higher physical. But they're both in the physical plane. Now, why do we need a physical body? So that we can interact with this world. Why do you need a computer? Like in the internet, if you want to go into the internet, into that virtual world, you need a computer, you need a laptop, you need a phone or any device that allows you to go into the internet. Without that, you will not be able to interact with the internet. Without a physical body, you won't be able to interact with the physical world and grab physical things and interact with these things. So to be in this world, you need a vehicle, a physical vehicle to interact with this world. And it's made of the same material and matter, physical matter found in this world. There are other planes, and so we have uh, also an astral body, or also called an emotional body, to interact with the astral plane or with the emotional plane, so that we can interact with that plane.
And with the astral world.
And it's made in the astral world. The plane is the world, yeah. The astral world, the astral plane, that heaven, or that also called
The rest of the
the
universe.
you know the no, it's not the rest of the universe. It's not in the astral plane. It's a phenomenal. Uh, the universe is phenomenal in nature, but let's just say it's in the physical plane, right? But this you cannot see. These are planes that you cannot see with your physical eyes. You can see with your third eye, right? You can see these planes with clairvoyancy. But also, if so in the astral world, when every time you go to sleep, right, a portion, the greater portion of your soul goes into the astral body,
Mhm.
leaving a small part behind, so that to maintain the functions of the physical body, so they can breathe, basic functions, and then your you as a soul going with your astral body or your emotional body into the astral world. And this is where we do this every night. It's a natural thing,
Mhm.
right? And um, so as you have an emotional body, for the in for or an astral body in the astral, to interact with the astral world, there's always the higher astral and the lower astral. It doesn't one is good doesn't mean one is good, one is bad. It's just one is of higher energies, the other one is of lower energies, right? And so you also have a um, higher emotions or higher, right, and lower emotions. You interact with these energies with those two different energy centers. So when you are so this is why so when you are that's why we said when you are in love, right, your chest expands, right, and you don't feel it on your toe, you feel it on your chest, because that's where the heart center is. It's a center for higher emotions. When you're nervous, or let's just say when you are enthusiastic about something and you're all excited and this and that, right, where do you feel it? Do you feel it also here? No, you feel it down here.
And when you're afraid,
So also you feel it down here, right? So that's why, because the solar plexus chakra is there. So lower emotions. Now, lower emotions don't have to be bad or negative emotions. Justice is a good lower emotion, right? Power, right? Is a good lower emotion. Enthusiasm is a good lower emotion. You guys want to do an experiment?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do an experiment. Um, so let's first see if we feel this in the solar plexus chakra. You know, guys, where your solar plexus is? Is there where the stomach, where you have the solar plexus is up here, right? This is where you see where your stomach starts going in, where your bone ends.
Is it orange? So that's the orange one or the red one?
But what are you talking about? The chakra you're
The
talking about?
color coding is nonsense.
It's nonsense? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, we'll look. This is the yeah. So this is the heart center. It looks like this. The other one looks like a rainbow.
Okay.
It's pretty beautiful. It just gets bad rap because that's also where. So you see, that's what the solar plexus looks like. It's very beautiful, and it's very special chakra. It just gets it's misunderstood. So it is.
It just requires a lot of tender, loving care.
Yes, exactly. What is the acronym for that?
TLC.
TLC. Yes, there you go. Okay, so
experiment.
let's experiment. So I want you guys need to do this with me, okay? You guys need to do this and be into it. Okay, so I want you to feel what you're gonna say and say it with conviction. So we're gonna say justice, right? So let's say the word justice,
Justice.
right? Where do you feel that?
Solar plexus.
So plexus. Say justice. Say
Justice.
power.
Power.
Where do you feel it?
There.
Yeah.
How about Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
There you go. Motivation.
Motivation.
There you go. So where do you feel it?
From the solar plexus.
Yeah, you feel it here, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Anybody feeling it of here? No? Okay. So then you more or less?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, good. So now let's do this. Let's do something different. Let's just relax and say tenderness.
Tenderness.
Say tenderness. Smile. Say love,
Love.
beauty,
You.
compassion,
Compassion.
loving kindness.
Loving kindness.
Puppies.
So fried or no?
No.
Sorry,
Puppies.
No,
Little dogs.
No.
Little babies.
Oh, okay. No. Just joking. Joke. No. So where do you feel tenderness and love? Up here, right? So you have, this is a difference. So you have higher emotions. Does it feel exactly the same? No. So which one feels denser?
The
Denser.
The solar plexus,
Stellar
right?
plexus.
It feels, power, justice, and those are positive,
Strength.
right? Strength. Those are positive
Qualities.
qualities of lower emotions. Those are part of, you need these, right?
Yeah, they're good.
Right. So, and then you have the other one is love and compassion. How do they feel? How's the energy? Softer,
Light.
expansive,
Soothing.
right?
Yes.
There you go. Yes, very good. Soothing. So it's a different feeling, but they're both emotions. Just one feels denser, the other one feels more subtle, more expansive. And that's what the author is trying to convey. Now, do you need both to be healthy? Yes.
Yes. But in balance.
In balance, yes, of course. Now, what is interesting is that it says one is uh, self-centered, the other one is other-centered. And this is very true, and also very important. So,
So are the ones that we felt up here self-centered, and the ones we felt down here other? 'Cause
no,
you
no,
said
these are other-centered. It's the heart-centered is other-centered. Compassion for others. It's about needs, what other people need. Loving, love for other people. Love for yourself too, but you're loving others. You're helping others.
Consideration.
And, all these things are about other people, right? They're centered on other people.
Giving.
That doesn't mean that you're gonna love yourself and you'll feel it here,
Right.
but you're also a person, right? You're also someone else, someone. In a group of people, and if you're in that group of people, you're part of the group of people. So it's someone. So, but then these ones are more self-centered about, motivation. It's your motivation. It's your justice from your, point of view that you're trying to be fair or whatever. But this is all from here. Now, you want to be a fair person. Do you guys want to be a fair person? Yeah, that's a healthy solar plexus chakra. Right now, they're both affected. He does say, the author says that, one affects the other.
Sure.
Right? So, this is why they need to be balanced.
Yeah,
Because-
if you want too much power, you're
Yeah.
not going to.
Because people can also say yes, and because people can also say, "Oh, I'm just being fair. Fair is fair. We're gonna do it like this." And yeah, but I cannot go that high. Or in poker, you have to, you meet me here. I don't have enough chips to, so I went whatever. But you can also say, "Oh, let's pay for half of the meal that we're eating." Oh, here, I'll pay for a little bit more, so you don't have enough, I'll pay for a little bit more, and we share. It's okay. And then, but that's we're being fair, but at the same time, we're being loving. We're being compassionate and understanding. So that's a balance, right? So, um, so that's what he's saying now. Um, the author talks about something else, about agitating the heart center. You know, when you agitate the solar plexus chakra, you agitate the heart center, and vice versa. He talks about a physical repercussion from that. So when the solar plexus chakra, right, is gets becomes congested, um, so or the energy is dirty, then you have things like anxiety and fear and other negative emotions that are lower emotions,
Sadness.
right? And so in this case, you know, an anger and all these things, resentfulness, all of that, guilt. And so all these things affect the heart center. And that's why he says, if you can see, they also, the heart center is in charge of the physical heart, right? The heart center is in charge of the physical heart. That's why it energizes the physical heart. So if it is also, so when you have the solar plexus chakra is malfunctioning, it affects also the heart chakra. And that's why he's saying that, as you can see, the physical heart becomes affected as a result. You know, that the first thing they tell you, or they tell people when they're having heart attacks or they're having a heart condition, be calm.
Relax.
Do not get upset. Try not to have very, you know, high, you know, impact, emotional impacts or things like that. You try to keep it light. Try not to get upset. Just breathe. Someone is gonna be upset. Just leave, because you know that can affect and give you a heart attack, etc. Can affect your heart. So this is why at the energy level. Now, I wanted to say something. So to finish on the others oriented and the self oriented part. So others oriented, right? The heart center is others oriented. Now, when you help other people and you do things for others, right? And in the end, will you always receive? As you give, so shall you receive, right? And we also said earlier that I am not the body, I'm not the emotions, I'm not the thoughts, I'm not the mind, I am the soul. And that we are all one, right? We also say that I'm not I'm a being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power, right? I am a child of God. I am one with God. I am one with all. We are all one. So by doing something for someone else, you're also doing something for
Yourself.
yourself. So yes, it is others oriented, but in a way, it's all the same.
And that's exactly why I asked you if up
Yes,
here,
and I'm
was-
saying that because of that.
because when you're kind to someone, you get back for
Mhm.
yourself. When you think of justice, most of the time it's like that's not fair to someone else. But I guess you do think that for yourself too.
Mhm. Yeah, but meaning you're the one passing judgment. That's what it means.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying it's self. It's like you are the righteous one, or you are passing judgment. That's why when you're saying judgment, you are the one deciding, making the decision. So it is the process happens internally,
Right.
and then externalizes. The other one is a process when you see something that you know you want to help, you're giving, you're going outward to, first to help someone else. So that's what the process was. But in reality, we are. It also says here that the key, right? We spoke about this, right? To activate the crown center, you need to first activate the heart center. Why? Because the crown center is also the center for universal love. We saw that Keter is a center for universal love. And how can you have universal love if you don't first experience personal love? Chesed, the heart chakra, is a center for personal love, for love for other people, love for your loved ones, your any pets that you have, anything. This is that love that you feel is from here. But universal love is greater. But how can you feel a greater amount of love if you don't first feel personal love? That's why without a well-developed heart chakra, you cannot have a well-developed crown chakra.
There's too much selfishness if it's not well developed.
Yes.
You
So
might love your family, but you don't care about the rest of the world, and that's not full love.
so then, as you develop your heart center, and you love more, you will develop your crown center and love even more. So then, it's very interesting that he brings that up, because also at the end of the day, when it's others oriented, and you focus on others and you help others, you will also, since we're all one, you help yourself. So, and also, if you remember, the Lord Christ says, "Whatever you do unto others,
You do it to me.
you will do unto me."
If you give a rose, the scent stays with you.
That's true. That's very good. I like it.
Did your teacher see the Bible as a code? Because I noticed that the scripture is written, but it's elaborated a different way than the scripture itself.
Yes. I wasn't him, right, to tell you how he viewed it, but I can tell you that what he just used it to teach. So,
Okay.
but of course, he spoke about truth in the following way. Truth is multi-level, so there are many levels of truth,
That's how I feel about this.
And-
It's like the levels of the
yeah.
Bible.
and truth is dynamic. Correct. And so, the Bible and many sacred texts uh, from different traditions have that quality, and also good books from different teachers have that quality, that you can first have the apparent truth, or when you are reading, and then you have a deeper meaning of the truth, and then a deeper meaning of the truth, and a deeper meaning of the truth. But to understand the deeper meanings,
Right.
you need to have other type of understanding. You have to know about other things, which is why we're doing what we're doing, is to look deeper, right? But we need to learn about other things to be able to have a greater understanding. Once you learn about, it's like saying, it's the same thing actually the author talks about here. Um, um, it says explaining divine love and illumination to an ordinary person is just like explaining what color is to a blind man.
Right.
Why? Because of the experience, not because they won't understand it, like understand what you're trying to say. Because you can describe color to a blind man, but they haven't experienced it.
Right.
And there is a difference. It's like you trying to explain love to someone that hasn't, it's the classic question from a child, and the children will come to you. How would I know when I'm in love?
Go take your ice cream.
But have you guys heard this question asked by a child? Did you ever ask this question? I asked this question. What is generally the answer? You will know when you are in love.
You know.
You will know. How am I gonna know? But how am I gonna know if you don't tell me? How does it? But have you fallen in love yet? So how does it feel? And then you can say whatever, but you will not be able to explain it. You can try to explain it, but you won't be able to explain it accurately. what has to happen? You have to experience it.
You know what, when you said that the heart chakra basically rules the heart itself, I thought about when Christ, when the people around him said, why was this man blind? Was it because of what his parents did and all that stuff? Just, I guess, connecting, look, my mother has a heart problem, and I know that she has a lot on her, she's carrying a lot of the family's issues. And I try to tell her to stop stressing, and I'm like, yeah, I can see the connection, and I'm thinking like, even this way, are there certain anomalies where people do have an ailment, but it's not because their chakra's off, but is it because of a purpose? Like, I don't know, like a guy that
Or
wants
a
his leg
karma.
to run a race, and then he, like a what?
Or a karma.
Karma. Well, I guess I'm actually saying outside of that karmic,
Okay.
like not a cocoon correction or anything like that, but more of I don't know, they came here to leave a big message or something, or open something.
Or they were here for someone else to be able to act upon their situation.
Okay, yeah.
Because, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's funny, people say, well, if God is so good, how come people are suffering all over the world? I said, well, if you had no one that suffered, then there would be nothing for us to do and to choose the right or the wrong thing to do. So sometimes
Okay,
those things
so-
happen because it is up to us to make that change or to help.
That's interesting. But let's move on.
Yes.
So okay, so it could be many things, right? So but in any case, so what is it's about experience. It's like today. So you this is the first time you meditated today, right?
Yes.
So could you explain what you felt in the meditation to someone else? You can explain it, but what is better that they
have to feel
experience
it
it,
themselves, yeah.
correct? Because it's hard for someone to understand what happens unless you experience it, and that's basically what it goes down to. That's it, basically what it is. So so in any case, so also the other point that I thought was very interesting is where he says that by activating the heart chakra, Chesed, the lower emotional energies can be transmuted into higher forms of emotional energies. So, what are lower emotional energies? We saw that well, they could be negative aspects, right? But also even justice or
Motivation.
motivation, they can be transmuted into higher form of emotional energies. Like when we were talking about justice and fairness, it could be also transmuted into fairness, into a fairness that is sometimes fair doesn't mean 50%.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Doesn't mean half and half. And when you have love, right, and you have loving kindness, and you're thinking of others, fairness sometimes can be moved. That percentage can be moved. But what is that? That's the influence of the heart. That's the influence of the heart chakra of Chesed, of loving kindness, of being kind. So you're grabbing a lower emotion and it's being transmuted into a higher form, right? Of a higher form of that emotion. Okay, I'll leave it like that. But and you can also transmute negative emotions into something in a form that is higher, that so it will stop being negative. You understand? So
So how do you go about transmuting depression?
How do you go by intermediate depression? That's a good question. Twin hearts. This is
Heavy
true.
duty question.
So, and that's what the author says, yes? Depression, people depressed,
Yeah.
twin hearts is very good to do because it activates the heart. So, for lower emotions, let's just say let's talk about fear, right? Real quick. Um, there is a mudra. A mudra is a hand position, right? Of power. So, you see sometimes a lot of paintings of Buddhas or different um, of different highly evolved uh, persons that they have their hands like this, right, or like that. So the palm is at this. It's not like this. You see the palm facing outward at the level of the chest, at the level of where the heart center is. This means in the Buddhist tradition, this means fearlessness. This means what?
Fearless.
Fearlessness. Why does it mean fearlessness? And what does it mean at the level of the heart? Why does the heart have to do with fearlessness, with courage? Courage is from the solar plexus, right? Courage, right? But you will also see that these people that are highly spiritually evolved, right? Especially great ones like the Lord Christ, he was fearless. He was what? Fearless, right? And but you see, the question is why, and why is this? What is this? Why do they put the hand here? Why can't they just put the hand here like this, or
Because it
like that,
protects
or
the
like
mind.
this? So why? Because of the heart center. When you love, you cannot be afraid
Perfect love casts out
All fear.
of fear. Why? Because, but it has to be unconditional love. It has to be true love, right? When we say true love, but unconditional love. True love is universal love, right? So when you have when you have unconditional love, when you have a well-developed heart center, the other emotions become regulated. You cannot be super loving and be afraid, or you cannot be afraid and be love and be super loving, right? So, and I'm talking about at extremes. Not that you love someone, you're afraid that something's going to happen to them out of love. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about extremes. When you're like in love, oh my God, I love you so much. You're like the best thing and whatever, and then you're like you're not. You can't. You can feel them like this, but it's different. When you're truly feeling that you are in that zone of true loving kindness, is different.
You're forgiving.
Yeah. So you're not afraid, but they're giving you the secret. So fearlessness is very important in the spiritual path. This is why this chakra is so important. This chakra transmutes. Is telling you, the teacher is telling you right now, the author says it can transmute these emotions into higher forms of lower of emotional energies, right, into higher forms. So it is important to understand fearlessness comes from the heart center, not from the solar plexus chakra.
So the hand in front is just a symbol of
It's just
the
a
heart?
symbol.
So it's
No,
not
it's just a symbol.
protecting?
No, it's just a symbol of blessing at the level of the heart. It's just point and just that it means fearlessness is saying you are giving, you're blessing, and you are when you're loving, and this is where it is. It's at the heart. It's just a symbol to show you the what is it trying to tell you? It's the different levels of truth, right?
It also protects the
So
heart.
it's about blessing. It's just don't look at the finger. Look at what the finger is pointing at. Those are what symbols are. Don't focus on this. This is here. It's just saying the location is here, and this is what you do is blessed. When you are being loving, you'll be fearless. And why is fearlessness important? Because in the spiritual path, you must be fearless. To achieve the highest levels of oneness, to achieve expansion of consciousness, to continue when everything becomes very difficult, and to go on and move forward no matter what, you must be fearless. And at the same time, the spiritual path is not for the faint of heart. I'm not talking the spiritual path of only going to a meeting or a church or a temple on a certain day of the week and then doing some precepts throughout the week. It's much more than that. When you are seriously in it and everything is that, and you grow, start growing very fast, it can be dangerous. So that's why it's very good to have a spiritual teacher or a guide that can help you through the path, especially in that is alive. And then it's very important. Why? Because it can be dangerous. Or you need techniques that are from a school that are safe. You understand? You need guidance. Why? Because these energies are very potent.
Sometimes
Right?
you
We,
don't
we
see
spoke
it.
about this. We spoke about the spiritual cord, right?
Mhm.
The spiritual cord in the first chapter. We talk about the spiritual cord, and it is as thin as a spider's web on regular people, most people, right? It is this spiritual cord that connects, right? That comes down from the incarnated soul and into the through the crown chakra, right, through our body. This spiritual cord is as thin as a spider's web, and a very religious person is the size of a thumb. How many spider webs can you fit inside a thumb? That is a lot. That is very potent. On great masters, right? Like you see Moses in the Old Testament and stuff like that. They talk about a pillar of light. How much? A pillar of light. How many spider webs can you fit in there? But with a spider web, people have their being. They have children. They work. They change the world. They contribute to the world. There's why? Because that's what you. That's all you need. It's so potent. And when you start doing all these things, you start bringing down all this divine energy, and more comes down. It's going to fertilize everything that is there, the good and the not so good. When the energy comes down, you're waking internal energies, right? Called like what we spoke about earlier before, the Kundalini energy and all these internal energies. They are awakened and right, they rise and they go up and they upgrade the physical body, they upgrade your brain, they upgrade everything so that you can actually, it's like a computer, right? You upgrade the programming and the computer. They upgrade the brain so that you can actually be aware of more subtle energies, feel more subtle energies, just like you're feeling now that we're doing this. So, but that same energy, it fertilizes everything. It fertilizes the good and the not so good. That's why purification, right? Like all the different traditions have commandments, and they're commandments of virtue. Developing virtue is important because it'll fertilize everything that is there, the good and the not so good. That's why sometimes you see a, a lot of people that are in spiritual path that are like very serious in the spiritual path, but then they might have different problems with either scandals, or either they just blow up on people, they can become very angry, or they have sex scandals, or they have they just or money issues, and it's not necessarily that these people are evil and they're like that, but these energies as augmenting whatever is there. So if you don't clean that before you start doing all these things, or start purifying or keep purifying them, it will also augment these situations. And in a way, if the person doesn't know, it's not I'm not trying to take blame away from those people, but it's going to be very difficult for them to control themselves.
It's not America, a successful guy that needs to get agitated or whatever.
Mhm. So um, it's important to also understand these things. But this is a deeper understanding. It's another level of truth. Now, if you're taught to properly purify, you're taught to properly do these things, then it's safe. You understand? You can go little by little and in a safe way, in a good way. And the more you learn, the more you know, the easier it is to recognize these things or symptoms, and you can catch yourself early. Or you have a body that talks to you about it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, interesting.
Be in more balance.
Yeah. So then that's it. So the heart center is super important because these, but you need to be fearless to continue. To no matter what, you continue. Oh, it's under your path. It doesn't matter. What is the most important thing to me? Oh, is the divine supreme God. Going back home, oneness, achieving that. So then you move on. But what do you need? You need love to be fearless. Because then, and it's not about being fearless, it's just about being loving. And then you don't fear anymore. Because you understand that we're all one. That everyone, and then whoever is going to act in a ill way, they don't know what they're doing. But in the end, we will never die because we're not the body. We may leave the physical body, but we as souls never die. And when you see that in a loving way, the fear of death disappears. Once you understand it,
And there's no fear of death.
there's no fear of death. You're fearless, but you're loving at the same time. This is an important center. So it also enhances many other things. If you want to, if you want to see more, be more clairvoyant, be a better healer, be more virtuous, be aware of your heart center. If you want to be more successful, be aware of the heart center. If you want to have more money, be aware of your heart center. Why? Because it is in giving that we
Receive.
receive.
Generator.
Is this a short chapter? It's a very long chapter.
It's a deep.
We can talk about this chapter for a long time. The author said, Chesed, by activating the heart chakra, Chesed, the lower emotional energies can be transmuted into higher forms of emotional energies. And understand this, as above, so below. This is not only true for emotional energies, this is true for many, it can transmute. It's a transmuting quality and an enhancing quality for positive things. Do you want to see more? Be aware of your heart. You want to be better at healing? Be aware of you want to feel more? Be aware of your heart. Smile is a being. The chakras are beings, they're alive. Smile at your heart center. is under your care. And what he said about the crown chakra, that is a replica of the crown chakra, is that the heart will evolve into a crown chakra. If you look at and what he said that, the reason he said that is for those that weren't here in the first chapter, which is the crown. This is what the crown chakra looks like. It has 972 petals, right? In Sanskrit, it's called Sahasrara chakra, which means 1,000 petal. So inside, you see inside, it has 12 petals. And it looks like a heart chakra with the red in the center and the golden outside. And it has 12 golden petals like this. It looks very, very similar. Outside are so it's 12 petals, inner petals, and outside are the only 900, the other 960 petals. You understand? So that's why he says it's a replica. It's actually a heart center will eventually, when they become, this being will evolve into a crown center. How do you evolve? By using it and to love. And what about virtue? The Lord Christ said, when he talking about the Ten Commandments, he gave two. Love God above all things and your neighbor as thyself. Because if you do those two, you do all of them. You're not gonna kill, you're not gonna steal, you're not gonna take something, it's not yours,
Hurt.
covet anybody, you're gonna be nice to your parents. So it's about love. So if you are loving, love thy neighbor, right? Love God above all things, love thy neighbor is about love. And what is a thing of love is harmlessness, non-injury, loving kindness. Not injure mentally, do not injure physically, do not injure emotionally, do not injure with words. So when you do this, automatically you become more virtuous. And you can grow spiritually at a faster rate while you do also service to humanity with everyone and everything you encounter. So that's why then he finishes with world peace, that section. And I'll end it here. The section of world peace, he says, until, right? Because he's giving the example of people being very successful by developing the throat chakra, right? Academically, or, getting all these degrees, studying. But in schools, the heart center is not, it's not developed. I mean, you don't get graded on virtue. You don't get graded on how good you are as a person, on ethics and things like that. And so that's why he says that without the development of the heart chakra, which is seen in most people, the majority, world peace cannot be possible because this is the truth. Unless this chakra is developed, you cannot achieve world peace. This is why development of the heart should be emphasized in the educational system. Why? Because then, if it is, for work, how many people have problems at work? Maybe not one time, maybe not all the time. Maybe you work in a good place and you're blessed, but eventually people have their own, their own things, and sometimes people clash. And not only at work, it could be even here. It could be anywhere. It could be anywhere you go. Is the heart center must be developed. If the heart center will be developed in most people, in the majority of the people in the world, properly developed, we would have world peace. It's as simple as that.
Less death, less divorce, less of all the bad things.
Just, we will have world peace. At least the world will be in peace. So, there, a solution for world peace.
There you have it.
There you have it. But it's hard work. Huh? So that's that. All right. So I think it's enough for today. We covered that section. We'll continue. But there's a lot in that section. We'll continue next week. You can read. You can buy the book in Amazon. But for next week, there's the section of giving, the way to prosperity. Just before, so we can finish. Giving the way to prosperity and the kingdom come. Love as a gateway to illumination, auric cleansing, and achieving inner calmness. There's all these things. So read the chapter, and we'll keep reading it. And we'll talk about it next week. Okay.
All right.
So I know that we have time for questions, but you can write your questions today that you have and bring them next week. It'll be faster. We'll go through the meditation faster. Write them. You can write them on a paper and bring them next week. Huh?
Email.
Yes. You can put them in the group.
I was just wondering since we have the chat.
Okay, so yeah, you can, I guess, if we'll post the video and you can write them in the channel, I guess. But we're creating the channel. This is going to a private channel yet, and then, but yeah, you can write them down. And we'll look at them and try to respond, but this week, but
No, but
we still don't have time.
if you
So,
want to be in the group, you
shall we?
can-
Let's close. Okay. To the Supreme God, we thank you for your good blessings. To my spiritual teacher, all spiritual teachers, holy angels, holy masters, to all the saints, we thank you for your good blessings. Thank you for the divine light, divine love, and the divine mercy. Thank you for the priceless blessings, for the priceless teachings, for the understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Thank you for the divine guidance, divine help, and divine protection. For the divine love, the spirituality, the wisdom, and priceless blessings. For the healing, we thank you. With thanks and for faith, so be it, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Amen. Namaste. See you guys next week.
Tumblr.